In this episode, we'll be talking about the two coordinate systems on
There's actually three.
I'll be with you in a minute. Yeah. In this episode, we'll be talking about the two
Three.
coordinates. Excuse me for a minute. Hello fellow CNCNutz and welcome. Today we're talking about the three coordinate systems used on our Masso CNC controllers. I have to concede, until recently I thought there was only two. So let's just jump into this here and we'll look at the first one, our machine coordinates. Machine coordinates define the limitations of your machine. It tells it exactly how wide it is, how deep it is, and how high the Z-axis can go. By defining those limits and knowing exactly where you are in that area, the machine can move around without fear of running into anything. It can locate anything on that machine. So if you have a tool changer at a specific location, it can find that and change tools. You can use soft limits to restrict how far the machine can move so it doesn't run in to the extreme ends of the machine, or you can even use it to confine the machine to a specific working area. And from these coordinates we can also define our next set of coordinates, our working ones. But first, how do we find where we are on the machine? And that's done through the magic of homing. To define our homing position, we use these here, homing switches. They can be mechanical. They can be like this one here, a proximity switch. Any piece of metal that gets within 4 millimeters of the end here will trigger this switch here. And it doesn't have to be steel, it can be aluminium, copper, brass, anything of that nature. You've got magnetic switches, you've got optical switches, and I'm sure there's some out there that I don't know about. The thing is, it knows on the table where this switch is located, and once it's triggered, it knows exactly where it is. Now, it's absolutely great that the machine is homed and it now knows exactly where it is in relation to the rest of the table. But that's of absolutely no use when it comes to machining anything. For instance, the X and Y zero is somewhere here, right at the very front edge of the table. In fact, it's not even on the machinable area of my table. And the chances are when I want to machine something, I want my XY0 to be back here somewhere, basically anywhere but where it thinks it should be. So for this, we're going to use a new set of coordinates, and these are our working coordinates. Working coordinates sits on top of our machine coordinates. And the reason I say that is the machine still needs to know where it is. For instance, if I have my tool changer, it still needs to keep track of where that is. And in my case, I have a touch-off block here, which I've sat in one particular location on my machine. It needs to know exactly where that is. So we still need our machine coordinates. So working coordinates are an offset of our machine coordinates, and if we look on the screen we can actually see that our working coordinates and our machine coordinates don't even have to be the same. Just take a look at the difference between the machine and working coordinates here. Now it's about here that people start speaking in tongues. You'll hear words like G54, G55, G59. You start thinking if they don't start speaking English shortly, they're going to find a G54. Your CNC machine has 6 sets of working offsets. These are G54 through to G59. When you first turn on and home your machine, the G54 offsets are loaded. In my case, when I hit the go to 0, it will go to the front left-hand corner of my machine. When we take a look at the offset screen, you can see that I've got several offsets already set in place. we have G54. That's my table offset. That's the bottom left hand corner of my table. Next I have a console project that I've been cutting, and that was where my wood was positioned. Next I have two that I've set up for this particular demonstration. They're called CNCNut1 and CNCNut2. Now if we take a look at the table, here's CNCNut1 and here is CNCNut2. Those offsets are in the center of those nuts. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through G54, which should take me to the front left hand corner of my table, then to G57, which will take me off to CNCNut2, and finally G56, which will take me off to CNCNut1. So let's give it a try. I'm going to bring up the MDI box here, but because it's already showing G54, I don't need to type anything. Now if I hit the go to origin, the machine will come in and set right down the bottom left hand corner, exactly where it should do. Now we'll go back and we'll type G57, which is CNCNut2. So again, if I hit the go to origin, the machine moves off and goes to the center of CNCNut2. Excellent. One more time, we'll type in G56, and again we'll do a go to origin. And there we are. It's now moved to the center of CNCNut1. So as you can see, using the G54, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 can be very handy, especially if you have fixtures set on your table. So the great thing about these working coordinates is they are non-volatile if you save them to your control software. Simply move to where you want them to be and save that position. That means if you have a power outage, you can simply rehome your machine and then load up those offsets you want. Of course, remember G54 is the default one, so that's the one that will automatically be loaded. Simply hit the go to 0 and you will move to that particular offset position. Now the same cannot be said of the last set of coordinates. So we started off with our machine coordinates, and on top of that we had our work offsets. Then we have another set of offsets called the temporary work offsets, or G92. These are the ones I didn't know about, but interestingly enough, these are the ones I always use when machining. They're just sort of hidden away in the background, but they are subtly different. So let me explain. When we home our machine, we use machine coordinates and it brings the machine to somewhere here. Then I hit go to 0 and it uses the G54 and takes it to the front left bottom corner of my machine and calls that X, Y and Z 0. But of course that's not where I want to do my machining. I want to do my machining more towards the center of the machine here, and I need to move my cutter to that point and zero it out. When I do that, I create a G92 offset. If you wish to remove the G92 offset, use the G-code command G92.1. Now the G92 is stored in RAM, and if you have a power outage or you turn the machine off, then you lose that offset. When you restart your machine, you're back on the G54. It's not saved into memory. If you think you have bad power in your area, and interestingly enough, while I was shooting this video, we actually had a power outage this afternoon. Or if you plan to turn your machine off and come back and continue working tomorrow on it, then it would be a good idea to save the work offsets on your machine. Just simply go to your work offset page, select either a spare one or just choose one that you want to overwrite and save the offsets into there. Then next time you start your machine, you can go to that work offset, and when you go to 0, it will take you to that new position that you created. But if you do not save it, next time you have a power outage or turn the power off and restart your machine, you will have lost where your X, Y, and Z zero position is. I'm sure we're all familiar with it. I know I am, that's for sure. And that's where I'm going to leave this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it and maybe learned something new. I know I have. All that remains me to do is to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my website, www.CNCNutz.com. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Cheers.